Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. This video will revolve around this McLaren and I'm gonna try to mess with it a little bit. And by mess with it I mean like just completely change the tune that's on it right now. So if you guys have not seen, I've done a top 1000 video with this thing and it's unreal to drive. It's so good. The grip on this thing is insane. And the best part about it is I'm pretty sure this car has the best power to weight ratio in this game. So it's gonna be interesting because I also found that you can do some other stuff to it that I'm very excited about, which is what I'm gonna be doing in this video. So actually there's no point to be like teasing you guys with it because I'm probably going to go ahead and link, or not link it, but like I'm gonna sort of spoil it in the title and the thumbnail. But I'm gonna be drifting this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and build this McLaren F1 as a drift car, and I want to see if I can get it to be better than the at the moment, the best drift car in this game, which is the Formula Drift Viper. So, if you guys have not seen the Formula Drift Viper, let me show you guys real quick what that thing looks like. It's this Formula Drift Viper right now has 1,700 horsepower and 1,300 kilos. So, power to weight ratio, it's insane. It does have 2,044 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot. It's a lot. It is also an 8.2 liter V10, obviously from the normal Viper in it. So it does produce a lot of torque. Now, the thing about this, right, what I'm driving right now, this McLaren, it doesn't have as much torque, right? It's got pretty much the same amount of torque as it does horsepower, but it is better power to weight ratio than that beautiful Formula Drift Viper. So I was wondering, does power to weight ratio actually make that much of a difference? Can this McLaren F1 be used as a drift car? That is the main question here. Because again, like I said, it does have a better power to weight ratio than the Viper, but the Viper obviously has almost twice as much torque as this thing. We'll see. We'll see, to be honest. We'll see what that's gonna be like. So at the moment, this thing is tuned pretty much to handle really well. What I want to do is I want to completely change it. Completely change the tune on this thing. I'll go ahead and add my drift suspension, which yes, it is possible to add drift suspension on this McLaren. I just hopefully need to try and see if I can add some worse tires on it, because right now the drift or the tires that are already on right now, which are race tires, even though it is very good, it still grips up a lot. What I may need to do is I may need to change some stuff on it. So at the moment, as you can see, it's all-wheel drive, which I'm going to go ahead and change this thing to rear-wheel drive because then it has an even better power to weight ratio. Power-wise, it's fine. You know, it's all good. It's all fine. I'm not going to change anything visually to it. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. Don't really need a lot of downforce with it. Again, it is on race tires. We can put it on sports tires if I really wanted to. I think on race tires it should be fine, just as long as I have some sort of it's 285s in the front and 355s in the rear. It's still a bit wide at the rear, but I mean it does have a lot of horsepower. I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much I have to change all this now since I did change it from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive, so now it weighs a little bit less. If I do go to this though, we can have our drift suspension on it, which is pretty interesting. And weight reduction is already done to it, and the power again is already done because of course I have used this car in the past. Now again, what I want to do to this thing is I want to have like a setup on it. I want to see if this is just as good or if I can get this thing to drive just as well as the Viper. I have my doubts, obviously, because look what I'm driving. And I'm trying to drift this thing, but we'll see. We'll see. This is all I'm gonna do to it. I'm gonna lock the diff, and we'll see what this thing is like now. It's a very long car. First of all, obviously it is the long tail. It honestly just doesn't feel like it has a lot of traction for the rear end. I could get this to drive in a straight line very easily and not slip at all. This is really fast. 228. Oh, I did not mean to do a 228. Actually, I think that's fine. Oh god. I'm trying not to like break any records or anything like that for top 1000. I want to leave those for later. But I mean, let's try to use it on a road that on a route, I guess, that I've already done in the past. Maybe this one here. I mean, we should have some sort of I guess, platform to test this thing on. I mean, this thing, I don't even know how to explain this thing. I mean, this isn't supposed to do this, obviously, right? But now that I've done it, let's see what it's like. I don't really know what to say anymore about this guy at the moment. Again, I just have to test it and see. I can just tell that there's such a lack of torque there. It's just, there just is. Oh my god, it's like struggling to stay, like obviously once I get it really, really high up in the rev range, it's fine, but it's like struggling. I can feel it struggling though. Look at it. You can see, like, it just doesn't want to do it. It's not a slow car by all means, but you can see the importance of torque. You can just see it. That is mad. So, there you go. Better power to ratio doesn't always mean that it's going to be a better car overall. If I bring my gear edge just a little bit closer, I should be able to have a little bit more torque in each gear and just use out a little bit more of my gears. So if I do this, then obviously my top speed will suffer, but I don't really need top speed. I need this to sort of pull through the gears as much as it possibly can. Well, there's fifth gear revving all the way out with no issues. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. 184,000 points. This thing is nice. It's very interesting to drive because, again, like I've driven the Viper a lot, and if you guys do have the Viper and you haven't driven it yet, please try it. It's just it's just so overpowered in this game for drift zones. It is like it's the best car. I mean, there's no argument there. It is the best car to drift with. The thing I'm surprised the most about this McLaren F1 is how quickly I managed to sort of figure out the way it drives. That's the thing, because again, the Viper does have its torque and all that sort of stuff, but I mean, I can still throw this thing down as long as I keep it high in the revs. I'm able to keep the wheel spinning on this thing for days. And I'm really, really surprised because, again, this just clearly isn't built for something like this, obviously. But I'm very, very surprised as well that this thing actually managed to get drift suspension on it. That's another thing I'm very, 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 very surprised about. Now, big question. Is this an alternative to the Viper? No, I don't think it is. I definitely don't think it is. Does it handle very well? Yes, it does. Because of the drift suspension, I think it definitely helps it very, very much. Again, the lack of torque is very, very noticeable. If you do drive the Viper and you do know what I'm talking about, the lack of torque is very, very noticeable with this thing. So you have to keep behind the revs. You can't just change gear, be low in the revs, and then try to accelerate, because there's just that lag that just there's just nothing there. You know, it tries to spin its wheels, but it obviously can't because of the lack of torque. But again, once you like keep it really, really, really high up in the revs, once you keep it really, really high up in the revs, it's just so good to drive. 204,000 points. I'm so surprised because, like, look at it. Like, it's just not meant to do this. It just isn't. And that's why I wanted to do a little bit of like an unusual build on this thing. I sort of like, again, I showcased this car in a video before, but it was definitely not built for like what I was doing. People usually build this car as a drag car, right? So people have builds for this thing as a drag car, so it's one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest drag car in the game at the moment. But I wanted to try use it for a different, like, purpose, I guess, just to see what it would be like. And it's just so weird and fun to drive. It's just a completely different feeling driving something like this than the Viper, for example, which is again purpose-built drift car that does have the torque and does have that power to put down in these corners. But again, just drifting a supercar is pretty mental. Also, somebody has suggested it to me that I should go ahead and try to see if I could put some drift suspension on the supercar and try it out. So what a better car to try it out, a car that has a better power to weight ratio than the Viper, but again, it just doesn't have that torque. Now, there is another car that I wanted to take a look at in today's video, and it was this thing, this Lamborghini Aventador Forza Edition. Now, this is a very interesting car because, as standard, I can get this car to go to 1,863 horsepower, which, as you can see, is a lot higher than pretty much any other car in this game, other than, obviously, the big trucks that you can get them to go to, like, crazy amounts of power. But those are trucks. Those are massive machines. This still weighs 1,300 kilos, so this as a car is stupidly fast. But I wanted to see if I could turn this thing into a drift car as well. But the only main problem is I cannot change the suspension at all on this thing. So that's a very big no-no, I guess, for this car. It is also a all-wheel drive. I can change to a rear-wheel drive, but that's not going to make a difference. All-wheel drive Aventador, I mean, the only tires that I can actually change to this thing are the race tires. I'm pretty sure it's already on race tires, but it honestly looks like it's on drag tires. I can't really tell at the moment because it's just way too dark. The contrast is too high there. I can't actually see what the tires are exactly, but they look like drag tires. Maybe they're not, I don't really know. Now, like I said, I wanted to include this thing in the video, but like it doesn't have any drift suspension, so I don't really know exactly what to come out with this car, because there's nothing really here. I mean, it should have a lot of power to spin its wheels pretty much in any gear it wants. It doesn't have that torque again like the Viper, and I probably won't be able to save some slides with it because of the lack of drift suspension. But I mean, like, what a car. I haven't, again, like, tried this thing at all to try and drift it or anything like that. You guys have just seen me build it right now, but I don't really know what to expect from it. I think it's gonna be stupid fast, again, because it is all-wheel drive. If I change to rear-wheel drive, it's just not gonna be the same. But as you can see, it just, there's no chance in me saving my slides. It just doesn't work. It just does not work. I, like, literally the very first slide, I just gave it a little bit too much, and it was just gone. Again, not a very yeah, and it's gone again. You definitely need that drift suspension for these cars, or else they won't work. And I'm actually kind of bummed about it, because I really did wish that this thing would have had it, because I think this, it's gone again. I can't, it won't slide. Again, like I said, I wanted to include this car in the video, but I knew that wasn't gonna be good for it, but yeah, there we go. Oh, it just doesn't work. It doesn't want to do what I want it to do. Oh my god, I definitely need to make like a separate video on this car. Obviously not for drifting, but I definitely need to make a separate video on this car to see how fast this thing actually is, because I'm pretty sure this is gonna be absolutely unreal. Look at that acceleration. Oh my god. Again, this isn't really built for anything at the moment. It gets to its top speed so fast. What? Whoa. It just gets to 266 just like that. Oh my god. Wow, this is a fast car. That's very good. Very good, Mihai. Very good. You just realized that a 1,800 horsepower car is a fast car. Good job. Well, I'm gonna end it there. I will definitely take a look at the Aventador in a different video. If you guys want to see that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and show your support. But yeah, this is definitely making a comeback in a future video. The Lamborghini Aventador Forza Edition. Definitely. 1,800 horsepower car. Of course it has to make a comeback. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon with another video. Goodbye.